Speaking of gifts, I got to do jury duty last week.
Oh, you're welcome.
The civil gift, the civil duty gift. Now,
here's what I want to know.
Yeah, tell me.
Because
I can only tell you a few things.
Okay.
I can only tell you a few things because I've been sworn to secrecy.
All right.
That's not true.
Okay, so we've been married a long time.
Yeah.
And
20-some odd years.
Right, 20-some odd years. And I've worked here a long time.
Yes.
2,000 years. And I've worked in show business a long time.
Yes.
And you are the only person I've ever met who has not been able to get out of jury duty. You're the only person I know that has actually been selected.
They need people like me on the panel.
That's the last thing.
Oh, yeah, no. I know, I hear, I listen, I can see, like, facial gestures, and I'm just talking about the attorneys.
I'm
okay?
just telling
the judge.
you, if you are a person standing trial, this is the last guy you want
That is
judging
untrue.
the fate of your... Yeah.
That is untrue. Now, listen, 6 years ago, I went, and I sat in this room, and by the way, the person that, who is that, what do they call that person that, in the jury room that holds you? No, before you get selected. Yeah, that calls the names. They work for the jury department.
What's it called?
No.
A clerk.
A clerk.
Okay.
They're amazing. They're very funny. Because they know no one wants to be there. You go there, there's 60 people in a room, and the person I had 6 years ago was hilarious. I sat in this room. I saw people multiple times getting called in, because you get called to go into a judge's room, a courtroom, and they select the jury.
Right.
I never got called.
Right.
I sat in this room for 2.5 days.
Yes.
It was amazing. And then I was released. I got off scot-free. This time, I did the same thing, right? And this lady was no joke.
Right.
I mean, I tried to smile at her, and she was not having it.
Right.
The Consuelos smile did nothing.
Yeah.
This was an iceberg the only iceberg that we have in the world right now that hasn't melted is this lady.
Right.
We should put her up in the North and South Pole, and we'll rebuild our icebergs. Because I tried my best Consuelos, and she was not having it.
It is so true. I've got to tell you that Mark also, Mark has this thing, and we should bust out that sound effect. Mark has a thing that if he smiles, he can get out of anything.
Anything.
And he can smile at a man or a woman.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But, like, look into that. I want to see if we can get that smile sound effect.
Okay, which one?
Look into that camera.
So I get there, I smile, the lady's not happy but I do like her for some reason, because she's tough,
Because she's ignoring you.
She's ignoring
That's how I
me.
married him. That's how I married him.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. I married him.
You ignored me.
I ignored him completely, and he was like, what is this? This is an iceberg that hasn't melted yet. And
So
I think we know that clerk is going to be his second wife.
So she gets a call. She's like, all right, when your name is called, say here and go to the back, get out of the room and wait in the back. I was like the third person called.
Yeah.
Out. There were 60 of us that went into this courtroom. Now, if you've never been in, it was a criminal case, which I thought it was very interesting. You sit there, the lawyers look at you, the prosecutor looks at you, everyone's looking at you, and everyone did their best not to get selected. But me being the actor, all I wanted to do was get the job. I was auditioning for the job.
Right.
I didn't know it. But I knew that I was gonna since I couldn't make Antarctica like me, I was gonna make them like me.
Do you know how I knew? You know how I knew that you, at this point, had thought that you were auditioning for a job?
Yeah.
Is when you referred to the jury room as backstage.
When I was backstage.
He did. He did. He came home, he goes, then we go backstage to deliberate. And I go, is that what they call it, backstage?
Now, when I realized that I've been asked a few questions like, oh my gosh, these people like me, this could mean I could be in this case for a while, this could be annoying, I don't know if I want to do that, but I was assured it was a short case, that's what they kept saying. And then I'm like, oh man, and one of the questions was, have you had close relationship, or are you related to anybody who's been an officer, FBI agent, or a prosecutor? My sister was a prosecutor.
Perfect.
Perfect. I go, my sister was a prosecutor. They go, did she ever discuss cases with you? I go, of course. Do you think you can set aside those experiences and conversations to be impartial? And I gave it the old, yes? Question mark?
Yeah.
Could you be impartial? And I thought, I'm out,
Right.
for sure.
'Cause you
I
gave
gave
the
the
question
pause.
mark.
I gave the Law and Order pause.
Yeah.
I was on Law and Order twice. I played a prosecutor and a felon.
Yeah, I know you did. Amazing.
I wish I would have said that.
That's what you should have said. Your Honor, as an actor who's played
Yeah.
both a criminal and a prosecutor,
Right.
I don't feel that I can be impartial.
So I get selected, I come home, and I'm what? Apoplectic, right? But
You're
excited at the same
apoplectic
time.
yet excited. It's as if you were selected for an off-Broadway play as opposed to a
Right.
Broadway.
I was in the play 12 Angry Men, and I was 7 of those guys.
Yeah. But then, here's what happens. Mark goes, I have to become the foreman because I can't let these people run amok. And I go, oh, how are you going to make that happen? He goes, well, I'm just going to start
Because the
talking.
foreman's #1 on the call sheet, and I was like #7.
Right, exactly.
I was way down the food chain.
Right.
But no, he stayed. And it's a very, if you haven't had the opportunity, you should do it. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's your civic
Yeah,
responsibility.
We don't know the name. She and Jimmy have discussed the name, but I said to her, well, how do you determine what the right name is? And apparently, maybe you did this with Mark.
Yeah.
They do scenarios where she's like calling the name, hey, you're late for school, name. Or, hey, name, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Well, so we I'll tell you what we did, because Michael was supposed to be named Joaquin, okay?
Okay.
But
So,
both of
Michael's the older.
Michael's the
Yeah.
eldest, our
Okay,
firstborn. But right before he was born, and I mean right before, both of Mark's grandfathers passed away. We lost them before they got a chance to meet Michael. So we named Michael after both of his grandparents.
Got it.
Okay? Both of his grandfathers. So Joaquin we put on hold for the next baby. But then Lola was born, and Lola was named because I was in labor, and Copacabana by Barry Manilow was playing in the cab.
And her name was?
And I was like...
Her name was?
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl. And I turned to Mark and I said to Mark, Lola Consuelos is a great name. And he goes, that is a great name. and we said,
And that's how it happened.
if it's a girl, let's name the baby Lola. So now
Thank
we
you,
have
Barry Manilow.
we have a boy, we have a girl. So with Joaquin, we were like, we have one of each. Let's just find out what this one is so we can get busy trying to pick a name. We found out Joaquin was a boy, and this is what Mark said. He just wanted to see if it still worked, and he goes, now batting, Joaquin, King, Consuelos.
Scenarios. Sports scenarios.
Ryan asked me how many baseball games Joaquin's played in.
How many games has
Zero.
he played in?
Zero.
No
Zero
games.
baseball
Goose egg.
games.
But I like